as the new White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, joins us. Caroline, congratulations and good morning.
Caroline.
Big day for you.
What does life look like when money is no object? Today, we step inside the world of Karoline Leavitt, a billionaire whose lifestyle is as fascinating as it is exclusive. From jaw-dropping mansions to private jets, high-stakes business moves to luxury, most can only dream of. This is a rare look at how the ultra-wealthy live. But beyond the glamour, there's a story, one of power, ambition, and the decisions that built an empire.
Karoline's parents owned an ice cream shop and a used truck dealership in the nearby town of Plaistow. Karoline has two brothers, Joe and Mike Leavitt. From a young age, Karoline showed a strong, independent personality.
Karoline's rise to power, how she made history. Karoline Leavitt didn't just walk into the White House, she stormed in. In January 2025, she became the youngest person ever to hold the role of White House press secretary under President Donald Trump. That's right, at just 26, she took the job that makes her the official voice of one of the most powerful offices in the world. But this wasn't her first rodeo. She worked as an assistant press secretary during Trump's first term, then ran for Congress in New Hampshire in 2022. Though she didn't win, she made waves and quickly became a major name in conservative politics. By 2023, she was the national spokesperson for Trump's Political Action Committee, MAGA Inc. Fast forward to today, and she's a powerhouse in Washington, earning around $180,000 a year. Karoline's lavish lifestyle, a mansion fit for a power player.
The luxurious mansion in the heart of Washington, D.C., where she retreats after intense political battles. We're inside Karoline Leavitt's lavish mansion.
Power comes with perks, and Karoline knows how to live in style. Her stunning Washington, D.C. mansion, estimated to be worth $10 million, is pure luxury. Think high ceilings, an elegant colonial-style exterior, and a perfectly manicured garden that screams money and influence. Step inside, and it gets even better. The gourmet kitchen, top-of-the-line appliances, and a farmhouse sink so fancy it could host diplomatic meetings. The master bedroom, a personal retreat with a spa tub, California-style closets, and even a private library where she strategizes her next political moves. But that's not all. Karoline also owns a classic home in Hampton, New Hampshire, where she spent time during her 2022 campaign. It's cozy, elegant, and get this, sits on 2 acres of prime real estate in one of the most desirable neighborhoods. Not bad for a 26-year-old, right? Karoline versus the media, the showdowns that had everyone talking.
And received endorsements from prominent conservatives such as Lauren Boebert, Ted Cruz, and Elise Stefanik. During her campaign, Leavitt focused on issues such as the economy, border security, and personal freedom. Despite winning the Republican primary, Leavitt lost the general election to incumbent Congressman Chris Pappas.
Karoline doesn't just handle the media, she takes them head on. And if you've seen her in action, you know she doesn't back down. One of her most viral moments? Her fiery clash with Whoopi Goldberg on The View. When Whoopi challenged her on Trump's policies, Karoline didn't just defend herself, she owned the conversation, leaving the audience in shock. That clip alone racked up millions of views and cemented her reputation as a fearless political warrior. Then, there was her blunt reaction to Joy Behar's sudden exit from The View. While others played it safe, Karoline spilled the tea on what really happened behind the scenes, setting social media on fire. And let's not forget her infamous press conferences. Reporters try to put her on the spot, but she flips the script, turning every briefing into a political showdown. Whether you love her or hate her, you can't deny. Karoline Leavitt knows how to command the room.
Karoline's romance with a businessman 32 years her senior has caused a stir. A secret wedding, a shocking decision after Trump's assassination. What mysteries await us? Karoline Leavitt, secret marriage, controversial love.
Karoline's secret love life, a marriage no one saw coming. As if her political career wasn't dramatic enough, Karoline's love life is just as headline-worthy. In 2023, she got engaged to Nicholas Ricci, a wealthy real estate mogul who happens to be 32 years older than her. Their romance raised eyebrows. But the real shocker? They tied the knot in total secrecy. No cameras, no press, just a hush-hush ceremony that had everyone asking, what's really going on here? Then, in July 2024, just days after giving birth to their first child, Karoline made a move that stunned the country. Following an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, she canceled her maternity leave and immediately returned to work. Was it sheer loyalty? A political power play? Whatever the reason, it cemented her status as one of the most unshakable figures in Washington.
And she created a dedicated space for new media that reflects the current information consumption habits of the American people. In his statement, Leavitt emphasized that Gen Z style is not simply about using social media or modern technology. It is also about being flexible.
The policies that rocked America, Karoline's biggest move moves yet. Karoline isn't just making headlines, she's making big policy moves that are shaking the nation. Her most controversial decision? Redefining gender based on biological sex at birth, essentially eliminating federal recognition of transgender and non-binary identities. Her supporters call it a stand against wokeness, while critics say it's one of the most extreme policies in modern history. Then came the freeze on federal grants and loans, forcing institutions to comply with new government policies or risk losing funding. It's a move that's infuriated progressive groups, but thrilled her conservative base. Whether you agree with her or not, one thing is clear. Karoline Leavitt isn't here to play nice. She's here to change America. The rise and controversy of Karoline Leavitt, from small-town girl to White House powerhouse.
Biggest scandals and controversies. Deleted post praising Mike Pence and Capitol Police. On January 6, 2021, a group of President Trump's supporters stormed the Capitol in an attempt to prevent the certification of the 2020 presidential election results.
Politics is a battlefield, and few have entered the fray as fiercely as Karoline Leavitt. From her working-class roots in New Hampshire to becoming the youngest White House press secretary in history, her journey has been anything but ordinary. But behind the power suits and polished speeches, scandals, debts, and fiery confrontations tell a much more complicated story. So, who is Karoline Leavitt? A fearless conservative warrior, or just another pawn in the political chess game? Let's break it all down.
Win a House primary that year after Maxwell Frost, now a Florida congressman. Donald Trump did not endorse any candidate in that primary, but he praised Leavitt's victory in New Hampshire, describing her as having tremendous energy and intellect. In January 2024, Leavitt officially joined Donald Trump's re-election campaign as press secretary.
From softball to the White House, Karoline's unexpected rise. Born on August 24, 1997, in Atkinson, New Hampshire, Karoline grew up in a tight-knit, hard-working family. Her parents owned a used truck dealership and an ice cream shop, pretty far from the glitz and chaos of Washington, D.C. A standout student and athlete, Karoline attended Central Catholic High School before heading to St. Anselm College on a softball scholarship. But while she played ball on the field, her real passion was politics. She wasn't just a Trump supporter, she was all in. She defended his controversial immigration policies in her school newspaper and went after what she saw as media bias against conservatives. But Karoline wasn't content with just writing about politics. She wanted to be in the thick of it. She landed an internship at Fox News, where she made connections in conservative media. Then came her big break, a summer internship at the White House Office of Presidential Correspondence under President Trump. That experience opened the door to her next job, Assistant Press Secretary under Kayleigh McEnany. Not bad for a small-town girl. The style, the scandals, and the power moves.
Press conference at the White House on January 28th, Karoline appeared powerfully in a burgundy suit worth $150, but really attracted attention was the luxurious accessories. She combined the outfit with an impressive cross necklace.
Fast forward to today, and Karoline is making headlines for more than just politics. At 28, she's not just a key figure in the Trump administration, she's a style icon. Her press conference looks are just as bold as her political statements. Take her first White House briefing, for example. She walked in wearing a $150 burgundy suit, accessorized with a cross necklace, Jimmy Choo heels, and a confidence that screamed power. That outfit? Nearly $900. And that was just the beginning. From $500 designer blazers to a $6,000 Dior handbag, Karoline's wardrobe is a walking statement. Politics is power, and power looks expensive. But as her influence grew, so did the controversies.
Karoline Leavitt continued to assert her noble yet powerful style, wearing a $500 LPA Giovanna unmistakable choice for the upper class. But her love of luxury doesn't stop at her clothes.
The $325,000 question: debt, controversy, and ethics. Politics isn't cheap, and Karoline learned that the hard way. Her 2022 congressional campaign ended in failure, and with a staggering $325,000 in debt. Of that, $200,000 came from donations that exceeded legal limits, a major financial violation. So how did someone with massive unpaid debt end up at the top of the White House press podium? Critics were quick to question her ethics, but the Trump team didn't seem to mind. Instead, they doubled down, giving her an even bigger platform. And then came Project 2025, a conservative plan rumored to reshape America's political landscape. Karoline publicly denied any involvement, but reports suggested otherwise. Was she truly out of the loop, or just playing defense?
When Schumer suggested that Trump's Federal Aviation Administration FAA layoffs may have contributed to the Delta Airlines crash in Toronto, Karoline called his comments incredibly irresponsible. She insisted that Canadian Air Traffic Control was responsible for the flight, refuting any accusations leveled at the Trump administration.
Battles with the press and political showdowns. If there's one thing Karoline doesn't do, it's back down from a fight. In August 2024, she fiercely denied any connection between Trump's campaign and Project 2025. Then in February 2025, she clashed with Senator Chuck Schumer, who implied that Trump's FAA layoffs may have contributed to a Delta Airlines crash in Toronto. Karoline's response? She called his comments incredibly irresponsible, insisting that Canadian air traffic control was at fault. But the controversies didn't stop there. Her first White House press conference turned into a media circus. When asked about Trump's decision to freeze federal funding, she dodged the question completely. CNN immediately labeled her a spinmeister, accusing her of twisting the truth. And then, Congressman Dave Min dropped a bombshell, publicly calling her a pseudo-Christian for backing policies that critics claimed went against the faith she often referenced. The debate went viral, and suddenly, Karoline wasn't just defending Trump, she was defending herself.
With what she has achieved and her bold steps in the future, the name Karoline Leavitt will certainly be mentioned for many years to come.
A pawn or a power player? So, what's the real story? Is Karoline Leavitt a fearless conservative fighter, a media manipulator, or simply a well-dressed spokesperson caught in the storm of political power? One thing is clear, she's not stepping out of the spotlight anytime soon. And with the 2025 Trump administration in full swing, her influence is only growing. But will her past scandals and financial troubles catch up to her? Or is she just getting started? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a deep dive into the world's most fascinating people. Thanks for watching.